1 part hello Americans who have never watched soccer before, and 3 parts informative.
Willkommen bei amorephillyunion, der Podcast, in dem wir Thomas Müller total unterstützen. Wir sind eure Host. Ich bin I.
Und ich bin C.
And if you haven't been doing your Duolingo, that's where we're at this season. Apologies to any German speakers. That was I'm sure kind of rough, but so yeah, I mean the season is, at this point, we're staring at MLS Cup in a couple days, and we're totally cool with Vancouver winning. So we are Team Thomas Müller.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, that's true.
Up with Thomas Müller. I don't know how you say that in German.
I mean, that's Los geht's, Thomas Müller.
Los geht's, Thomas Müller.
Yeah. And again, apologies, but hey, we're trying.
Many years of German Duolingo, and this is where we're at. But
best you can get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Well,
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah.
So yeah, we're flying without Paul this week. So
yep.
I'm sure Paul's off having fun somewhere. But
yes.
So it's just Christy and I. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of we are in the tail end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Again, MLS Cup is coming up in a couple days. We're going to talk about that, but maybe let's just kind of stay close to home here at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the Union.
Yep.
So we got some things to talk about. I guess just when was it this week? I don't know what day it is anymore. But it was the final press conference of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And Bradley Carnell was there with John Shearer, who's the director of Academy and Professional Development. And I noted that. So that's not necessarily coming off the dome. But just a couple things to talk about here. Because there is still a little bit of an elephant in the room with respect to Tanner. Because I think normally these types of things, it wasn't uncommon for Tanner to be there. But I thought it was also interesting at the beginning of the press conference. I don't normally catch the press conferences. I usually just read about them, or if I'm really being honest, I get the details from Paul. But I thought it was interesting watching this week's Carnell right up front at the beginning of the press conference. He addressed quote, how off-season decisions are going to be made going forward. Also, interesting to note, he brought a little tablet and he was reading. You could tell he was reading from prepared notes. Still fairly natural, but it was interesting that it seemed to me he really wanted to make sure he hit these points, right? And so a couple of things I just wanted to mention here about this was, he said that they have an established internal structure. I guess it's 4 guys. So it's Carnell, Matt Radicek, John Shearer, and Chris Sedebar, if I'm saying his name right, working in close collaboration with the ownership group. Tanner was not mentioned, which was not expecting anyone to talk about that until...
I mean, he's suspended, so yeah. I assume that means he's out of the picture for the foreseeable, if not until we hear more. Basically.
Absolutely. And it's that makes sense, right? In the sense of that's all ongoing, so they're not even going to mention his name. Totally get that.
Yep.
But I thought it was interesting right up front. They did want to address that. So I appreciate that, at least in that respect. How is the club functioning without Tanner? At least there was that bit of transparency, which I think was good to see. But so basically, I guess the other part of this whole thing was that this group, right, as I called it, was a collective and collaborative process to remain prepared and focused on making the strongest possible decisions for the club. I mean, I guess it's boilerplate stuff, but interesting. I don't know how many press conferences usually start that way, but I thought it was kind of
It is, and I mean, I know the sporting director is the primary shot caller, but I'm sure that there are other people who have to weigh in. I mean, please see Ali Bedoya, who was essentially, by all accounts, given his walking papers.
Yeah.
Was it last year or the year before? By I think it was the year before by Tanner, excuse
Mm,
me, by Tanner, and in kind of short order, just like, yeah, you're out. I mean, that's what all the stories, all the rumors were, that it was a very, very short conversation, and he was out and he was gone. And then they, somehow someone intervened and he was back.
yeah.
So it's clear that while Tanner seems to have made many of the big decisions and choices, that he wasn't the end all be all.
Hmm.
There were other people who
Sure.
could get involved and weigh in and say something. Now I don't know if it was only Sugarman, but I don't think so. I don't feel like that was. I'm not sure that
Yeah.
Sugarman would have understood or cared enough about Allie to keep him. I'm not sure how tuned in Sugarman is to the fan zeitgeist and the other things, to understand like how important Allie is. Again, I'm speaking from my Allie
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
bias, but like, it's he really is very clearly the next Ring of Honor candidate, unless somehow Blake would retire first or something,
Yeah.
but
Well, if the Supporter Shield award ceremony was any
oh Lord,
indication,
God
I
bless
don't
him.
think he's
I
got.
did.
I felt bad for the guy.
I mean, the more I
Yeah.
think about it, the worse I feel about it
Yeah.
for him. But I mean, also, I think he's just kind of an awkward dude,
Yeah.
if I'm honest. But like, yeah, it was a little bit like, what else does this guy have to do?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Um, but maybe he's just burned too many bridges with things he
Yeah.
said too. I don't necessarily keep up on all his statements. So
Yeah.
anyway,
But yeah, the other thing too, I did appreciate Cornell kind of going through the club's accolades. That was
yes.
good audio there. But so just kind of the numbers here, right? So this past season we started 25 different players, 29 different lineups, which
That's
honestly
crazy.
I was surprised it's that few. Because that was kind of one of the things I think we really
Really?
enjoyed and I thought
Yeah.
was effective was the variety in terms of lineups, and strategic positioning and
Right.
formations and all that.
Glorious that
Um,
we could do that too, really. I mean, not saying all those lineups were winners
yeah,
necessarily, but even so, like, we did have
yeah,
a lovely deep bench. So
yeah, yeah. 18 different players scored goals
that's
for
wild.
57 total. Yeah, that is a lot.
Yes.
Seven players scored their first MLS goal. That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
20 league wins, the highest in club history. I'm sure that's correct, but that I kind of want to just double check those numbers. But yeah, I think that's right.
Mm.
Um, and there's the other one too that I got to look at these numbers. But he said that we've earned 326 points, right, over the
Mm-hmm.
last 5 years. So that means we're averaging over 60 points a year. I'll have to look at that because I double checked those. But that's what they said. But that's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is more than any other team in MLS. And again, that's over the past five
Mm-hmm.
years.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, we're really strong, right? Kai and Glesnes got what was it? The starting 11 of
Starting
the
11 of the year, yeah.
um
Mm-hmm.
Macania, um, Westfield,
Mm-hmm.
and who else? There's one more.
Ariel?
What's that? No, it wasn't Harriel. I think it was Harriel, but they got called up to some MLSU whatever.
Oh, oh,
Um,
oh. Yeah.
but basically, our defense was really solid this year. We had 14 clean sheets,
Mm-hmm.
and then only 35 goals against,
Mm-hmm.
which is um, pretty darn good, right? It's less than a goal a
Mm-hmm.
game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
In
I mean,
any other league, we would have won this season. In any other league.
Well, we didn't talk about this last week, and that's curse of the supporter shield.
Well, yeah.
But
We have touched on that a
yeah,
little bit, but maybe not
yeah.
last week, but
But I agree.
yeah.
Any other league, we would be talking about the union plan on Saturday. What are you
No,
gonna
I
do?
mean they would have already done it. They would have already clinched, you
True.
know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean it would be the season would be over and we would be the winners. I mean, we would have wanted the game before the second to last game. Everybody else would have been avoiding relegation.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha,
You know what
gotcha.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And
Seriously, because if you had the
other
best
leagues. Yeah.
record
Yeah.
in European leagues and
Yeah.
like
Every other league. Yeah.
every other league in the world, yeah.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Well, I shouldn't say every other, because I'm sure there's some other outliers and there were minor league American teams and I shouldn't say minor league, other leagues in America. To say they're minor is not fair. But
So I
like
guess that's kind of actually a comforting thought because I'm just thinking about, what the whole Leagues Cup thing, right, where Miami knocked us out. And wait, hold on. Did Miami win that or did Nashville win it? I think
they're
Miami won it, didn't they, right? The
in
Leagues Cup?
leagues. Oh, a few years
Not
ago.
Leagues Cup. Yeah, 2 years ago,
Yeah, I'm
3 years
yeah,
ago.
I think so. That was 3 years ago. The one where we watched when we were on vacation.
I don't remember, to be honest. Oof. Anyway, the point I'm going to make, and I'll just say this, and then I'll let other folks prove me wrong, is that, if Miami goes on to win MLS Cup, basically what it proves is they're good at winning tournaments, but not at
Hmm.
winning seasons. And I can live with that. Well, at least for now.
Oh, that's a thought, isn't it?
Yeah, we can win a season. We just can't win the tournament,
They're
which
good
is the
at winning
playoffs.
scripted tournaments.
Yeah. It's much easier for the MLS writers to control a tournament than it is a season.
They're good with limited series that
Exactly.
give them an actual show and they
Yeah.
bomb right out.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
no.
with that. That makes me feel better.
I mean, it honestly makes me, I mean, I know this sounds like sour grapes, but there is a comfort in that in any by any other soccer measure in the world, we would be the winners of the league and we would have
Yeah.
won it twice.
Yeah.
It's that we here in America we tack on the playoffs because that's how we do it in America. And I think too fairly because there is no relegation. So it does add that
Hmm.
drama.
Hmm.
If you have some team that locks it up and there's still 3 weeks, just say, to go in the season, kind of who cares because there's
Yeah.
no relegation. Relegation usually comes down to the last day.
Hmm.
And so there's no reason to keep attending games.
Yeah.
Um, when you don't have that, fan base that's been around for 100 years and will die for their club and all that kind of stuff. So, like in long established leagues. So
Yeah.
I kind of get it. I kind of get the MLS has just tried a little bit of everything to get going and keep going over the
Hmm.
what almost 30-year lifespan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and you
Gosh,
can't
30
blame them.
years.
Yeah, it's crazy. But and I'm grateful that they made it through because their leagues have started and fizzled. And so, but it just, yeah. So there's that. I mean, I'm not trying to be bitter or salty or any of a other flavor, but it just, there's comfort in that.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
and and then, I do appreciate him running through all those stats because it does add a bit of perspective
Yeah.
and does bolster his resume too, if we're honest.
Well, sure. I mean,
I
yeah.
don't think that was the primary objective, but it
No.
does make a good argument for keeping him for next season.
Well, I mean, I think he was
So,
also throwing it out there, and he did kind of say this in the sense of just this is like a benchmark of how far we've come in one year,
well,
and that he did say
yes.
that, our goal is MLS Cup. Um, so I think
Yeah.
it's kind of like what he said at as we were preparing for our playoff games, right? When he won Coach of the Year and all that, I was like, oh, this is great.
Hmm.
We'll enjoy this, but we still got one more thing to win. So yeah, we don't win it this year, but hopefully it's just continues that, goal of getting MLS Cup, which,
I'm glad they're continuing to say that. I hope they actually mean it, and I think they do. I think Carnell definitely does. The goal is
yeah.
MLS Cup because I think it counter programs some other statements that came out maybe prior to his arrival that made it sound a little bit more like their goal was to be a development team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least heavily implied that, if not outright said
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I think that it's I hope they're not just giving it lip service. I hope that's what they mean. I'm sure Carnell would love to win,
Oh, yeah,
especially
yeah,
after
yeah.
his experience um at St. Louis and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He clearly has the chops to do it.
I
Um,
mean, he did
so
exercise some demons a little bit this year in a sense of
mhm.
he got one level farther in the playoffs than he did with St. Louis.
Yeah, yeah,
Obviously he wanted to go all the way. There's no
of
question.
course, of course.
But again, back in February, if you asked me,
Oh my God.
Union semifinal for Eastern Conference, I would have been yes, please,
Hmm.
and super happy. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
um, yeah, I guess kind of in that vein, right? I guess there was some news yesterday. When was this signing
It was two
announced?
days ago.
Okay.
So 1 second. Uh, a new forward for a record signing. So, bye bye the Bruno goal count cost. I guess.
Yeah, right. We're
We'll
got
we'll
the
have to think of something else. But Ezekiel Alladoh,
hmm
Ghanaian player who had been playing in Sweden,
hmm
and despite my many visits to IKEA, I am loath to try this team's name. But
Broma IF
Brahma
Broma Pochkamar Karna
Polkarna, apparently it means Brahma's boys.
Brahma's boys. All
At
right.
least according to the interwebs. So we'll go with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brahma Polkarna. I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
know.
And I don't want to keep stomping all over the
Yeah.
Swedish language. But yeah, 20 years old.
20-year-old kid. Yeah.
God help us. 6'3".
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah, he is.
Which is
That's
uh
fun.
it's got to be an interesting.
It's draws fouls. That's my only concern.
I mean, it's one thing if he draws them, like he's not causing them, but he draws them. That's okay. I listening to um the press conference, one of the things that Carnell was saying is had that each forward kind of has like their own, I think of it like some sort of like kids collector item toy, or it's a team
Mm,
of whatever, and each member of the team has a special power, right? And if that's what
mm,
Carnell was saying, how that each striker kind of has their own specialty.
mm-hmm.
And I could see Alladoh just being you know, he's a big guy, so he's got to be
Yeah.
able to take defenders on. But like, I forget who we were talking about this once, but like basically he could play a holding defender, like, or I mean, a holding attacker. Like, he's gonna be a big guy. It's got to be hard to push him off the ball. And
Mm,
then of
mm,
course,
mm.
like that crosses and headers and all that stuff. He's got to be able to muscle
Yeah.
his way in there. I think it has a potential for complementing our forwards. And in fact, I think that's what Carnell said, that it complements Baribo and Damiani. So um,
That's very interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. I just always get nervous when people are sort of above average height because I do feel like it calls attention and potentially in soccer in particular. I always feel like it's sort of like, I don't know, I feel like they get called for fouls more often or cards more often, but
yeah,
I doubt there's statistical. I'm sure it's an anecdotal thing,
yeah,
not a
yeah,
statistical truism,
yeah,
um, but no, I think that's a really good point that, just bigger, strong, faster, stronger,
yeah, exactly.
right,
Yeah,
and all those things to just charge right through
yeah,
and maybe bowling pin some people out of the way
yeah,
too,
yeah. I mean, there's a place for strikers like that, just big dudes. It's
Yeah.
it could work. Yeah, this could work. I think it's an interesting signing. I mean, it does raise questions, kind of like, all right, we just signed this striker and conservation laws kick in. So, like, is something going to come out? Is uh, I know after they in the press conference, when they talked about this, then the first question was, after this was, what's up with Aura? And so basically, it was
Mm,
just standard answer that discussions are ongoing.
right.
Um,
They
but
can't say anything until they can say something.
yeah, pretty much, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, because we're getting a little top heavy possibly between Damiani, Baribo. Although we did, right? We did Donovan's not here anymore. Now, granted, he's a junior player, all that stuff,
Right.
right? This
Right.
is um so I mean, depending on how Alladoh is going to fit into our lineup, I don't know. I don't know. It does feel like, I mean, it's a lot of money. And again,
Hmm.
with Damiani and Ura, it's three big guys up front, Baribo as well. It feels like, do we have enough room on a team for all these guys?
It's interesting you say that because the feeling just when you see comments and things online, the feeling seems to be that we still don't have a true striker
Yeah.
somehow, which
Yeah.
is kind of wild to think about.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I guess everyone has their own definition of what a true striker is, but I can kind of just me watching, I can kind of see that. We've talked about Damiani that when he's good, and when he's not,
Yeah. We complain.
yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So, and Baribo is great when he's right there and
Yeah.
he gets that connecting pass and can do kind of usually sort of like a short, quick boom motion. He's great at that,
Yeah.
but he seems to struggle when it's
Yeah.
not as cut and dried as that to me.
Hmm.
This is my purely my impression, and feel free to disagree, but I think there is an argument to be made for somebody who is just a little more can be dangerous in multiple situations, doesn't have to
Yeah.
have a particular setup to
Yeah.
be dangerous, and
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So because I feel like if the other guys can be considered niche, in that they have to have a certain set of conditions to be successful, hopefully
Hmm.
Alladoh is just a little bit more, versatile.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. But maybe it does point to Ura's exit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this has been like in the rumor mill since I don't know. I feel like I'm not even sure if we were out of the playoffs when I first heard it. Um, we may have still had the last game to go, that they were talking about this. So
About or leaving or
no, no,
signing a
no.
new
I'm sorry
forward.
about Alladoh being signed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear about it a while ago. I can't remember when because everything
Yeah.
is a blur. But
Sure.
um but yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what comes of this off
Yeah.
season. I feel I'm waiting like all the decisions they've made so far. I've been like okay, I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. I'm waiting for the inevitable heartbreak because I'm sure there'll be somebody or something that
Yeah.
changes that bothers me.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah. There
I
usually
mean,
is, right?
yeah. The good news, I think Quinn is still signed, and as long as he can heal,
Yeah.
I think we're still good
Hmm.
there. I'd be sorry to see him go. I mean, there are a lot of people I'd be sorry. I would be sorry to see Ulrich go
Yeah.
but I would be happy for him if he could uh find. I mean, not that he was not successful or has not been successful with us, but like I feel like he has not been as successful as he wanted to be with us.
Yeah.
And
I
if there's a
agree.
place where he fits in better or can find conditions that better suit him. I don't know if that's possible, but if it is, then and it makes sense for him to go, then I wouldn't be mad
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think that'll be, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, right?
yeah,
I mean, the all
yeah,
season is technically hasn't even started yet. I mean, it has started for us, but
for us, but
you know,
yeah,
I agree. There's going to be more changes to come, and we'll just see what they bring. Um,
So far, it's interesting, and I'm interested that they're making these moves so
Yeah,
quickly, you know. Obviously, it's sort of an onward mentality. Like, okay, let's keep, in a way, let's keep the momentum going. Like, yes, we're gonna have to go through the holidays and do all that stuff, but I don't know.
yeah,
So, more to come.
yeah. We will see. We will see. So that's kind of I guess the latest happenings with the union.
Hmm.
So let's widen our view here and let's I guess talk about this
Hmm.
MLS Cup that's coming up, just in
Hmm.
case.
This what? Sorry,
I know
never
it's
heard of
like
it.
there's this soccer thing still going on.
Yeah.
It's not Premier League.
Do they know it's cold out? Um,
Do they know it's MLS Cup after all?
do they know it's um
We should put like a Whamageddon warning on our
Oh my
episode.
God. No, no, no. It doesn't count. It doesn't count if it's a cover.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay.
Yeah. So
Um,
if you are playing, well, anyway, that's not the song too. That's
yeah,
the
it's
song is
true.
Last
That's
Christmas.
true.
So if you're
Um,
playing Whamageddon, I will tell you you are safe here. You will
yeah,
not hear
we
it.
won't. And if you
Um,
even if you do, it'll be a
we'll do a cover
I'll
so
do it.
you
It'll be a
don't have
covering
to be
of
afraid.
some
Um,
quality.
if you don't know what Whamageddon is, it's you play with your friends
Yeah,
December 1st to December 25th. If you hear, as soon as you realize you are listening to Last Christmas, the
by
original
Wham.
version by Wham, you are out. Um, I
It's such a
heard it a
great game.
million times before December 1st
Yeah.
and was assured by my friend that I was still in because of the rules and got knocked out on December 2nd.
And I was
Watching
partially to blame.
A
Yeah,
German
I'm partially to
public
blame.
television show on YouTube. Why am I
Yeah,
getting me? And I sent a message to my friend and she said, already?
yeah.
Yep. So anyway, there you
Well, I
are.
guess. And speaking of Germans,
Speaking of Germans,
yeah, let's get to the
but this one and this one we're rooting for, as we've mentioned earlier.
yeah.
Should I just
Go for
That's
it.
right. All right. Miami and Vancouver in the playoffs. So
Mm,
Miami bested NYFC. Hold on, too many letters. NYCFC.
yeah,
Too bad, so sad. I mean,
yeah.
that was like a
Well,
Hobson, the Hobson's choice, right? There
yeah,
was no
right.
one to root for in
Because
that game. This is where we decided that we are all Eastern, or excuse me, Western Conference all the way for this.
well, I mean, it's. I mean, New York City knocked us out. I don't know, whatever the playoffs were like 2 years ago. I don't know,
Yeah. Mhm.
and then they went on to win it, and it just felt like so. I know to say it's unfair is just ridiculous to say, but it just felt unfair because it was
It
like
felt unfair.
like was it like one of their first seasons and they go on to win the whole thing? It's like we've been in it for I don't know how many years and wham wham. Wham. I get it, I know,
Yeah,
but
it
still, it
it
was
wasn't one of their first seasons they've been in since
yeah,
at least
yeah,
2016. That might have been their first year.
yeah,
But it felt early. It's still newer than us.
yeah,
They're still
exactly,
younger than us. Yeah.
yeah. So it's always
So,
hard when one of the new teams or younger teams, makes it
yeah.
past and wins. But so yeah, it was like, well, who do I root for? That or Miami? It's like, well,
Well, I
so
think this year too, NYCFC knocked us
yeah,
out,
yeah,
so it's just like, do you root for the team that knocked you out because then at least you lost to the champions,
yeah,
or do you want them to go down in flames because they knocked you out? I mean,
yeah.
like, so there's
It's
that conundrum, and then there's just Miami because we're not anti-Miami. We're anti the whole Miami storyline, I think is really what we're anti.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
or over, maybe not even anti, just over. I don't know.
yeah, I think over, and I can only speak for myself, but I kind of just I lean into the pettiness, so I'm admitting that up front. But
Hmm.
because it's easy, right? It's easy to pick on the big kid here, um, but whatever, I'm about West Coast now.
So yeah, so that happened.
Yeah,
And then Vancouver defeated San Diego.
hmm
I'm sure I don't want to speak for Paul, but I'm sure to his at least small amount of delight, Because as he said last week, he really didn't want San Diego to win in their first season
Yeah.
because he just would have been a little salty about that, which I understand.
Yeah.
It's quite a story, but we were the ones who were supposed to have the story this year, not San Diego.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's my take on what Paul was saying, not his. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so now it becomes Miami versus Vancouver, and as we said already, Messi versus Mueller. We are
Mm-hmm.
Team Mueller on this. We are Team
Mm-hmm.
Canada on this. We are Team Germany on this. Um, and I'm speaking for Eric, and I don't know if Paul would fully agree, so I don't want to put words in his mouth.
I mean,
But
I'd like to see Vancouver win this. I mean,
sure, yeah.
you know, I mean,
As much as we're Team anything, I mean, it's the game is at 2:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday. I will probably be outside fiddling with Christmas decorations.
yeah,
So
we'll have it on. Just stick, look in the window every once in a while
yeah,
to see.
come in to warm up and see what
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah, one interesting stat here that this is kind of a rematch of the 2025 CONCACAF Champions Cup semifinal, where Vancouver beat Miami 5-1 on over a two-game aggregate. So, I mean, again, that's a lifetime ago.
yeah.
I mean, Vancouver didn't have Mueller then, but it's who knows, right? It's anyone's game at this point. Well, I don't know. Narratively, it does feel like it's swinging towards Miami because it's Messi, Jordi Alba, and Busquets. They're retiring after this game.
That's
Um,
the thing. Like, it's sort of Vancouver versus the Miami retirement home. I mean, the Golden Guys.
the Golden Guys. Which one's Bay Arthur?
Oh no.
Who's
Who's
Blanche?
tallest? Who's tallest?
Busquets is, I think. He's
Uh,
Blanche. He's yeah.
I
Oh
don't
my
know.
gosh, that's gonna be fantastic. We have to work that art in for this week's episode.
Sophia is the biter. What's his
Um,
name? Oh God.
Suarez. Yeah,
Sorry. It just
Suarez.
went right
Yeah,
out of my head.
the biter.
I think he's been benched the last few matches,
Yeah.
so I don't know what's going on there. Who knows? But yeah, so Vancouver versus the Golden Guys. Here's my concern, and that we talked about this like glancingly in our household the other day. Well, no, on our chat actually. That they are actually going to broadcast the entire match in Times Square on a block long um screen of some variety.
That's right. Yeah.
Which is just feels very MLS writery,
Yeah.
and like our I mean, we joke about the MLS writers a lot, and it's a joke we sort of semi stole, semi borrowed from uh Men in Blazers,
Yeah,
but
man, lasers.
um but I don't know, it does that little move. I mean, they're trying to promote the league, especially with their little sojourn into kind of walling it off from the world in an Apple subdomain. But I don't know, it feels like, oh, wouldn't it be cool then if Lionel Messi was in Times Square winning a trophy?
Yeah.
On a screen.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know. Hopefully it's not. That's a very extremely jaded and maybe slightly tinfoil hatty view of things. So I hope that's not true. So with all that said, go Vancouver and go Mueller. This might be one of the few times I've ever rooted for
Yeah, right.
Mueller
Because
because usually
he plays angry.
he plays angry, and he has, bested the US a few times, I think, in some kind of, whether it was a World Cup directly or some sort of qualifying match or something. I seem to remember fearing him as a US
Yeah.
fan a few times, but he seems like a gent. I like Mueller a lot. He's seems like quite the teammate of just
Yeah.
little things I've seen, very supportive
Yeah, he
teammate.
seems to kind of really fit in well with Vancouver
Yeah.
and what they're doing.
And not like treating MLS like it's less than. He's
Yeah,
like he's on a team, he's a teammate, he's a
he's there
team
to win.
player doing the thing.
Yeah.
and I respect that. So, I'm not saying Messi doesn't do that. Whatever. Messi is just kind of in a messy world now, I feel like. So, he still don't dislike him, but just the whole, we've been through this many times, so I won't
Yeah.
recap. But I, in the end, it's almost immaterial to me who wins at this point. But if I have
Yeah.
to pick a side, I'm going to pick Wheeler in Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, am I gonna have the game on Saturday? Sure, I'll have it on.
Mhm.
Is Apple showing it for free? Is it gonna be on? Is
It
it gonna be
might
on
even
be
be
on
on.
on network?
I'll be honest, I didn't check, but that sounds correct. I feel like I saw that somewhere that they might actually just show it
Yeah, I
because
think
at
it is
this
gonna be on the
point,
networks.
like, what does it matter?
Yeah, it's gonna be on Apple TV for free. And
Right.
then it's gonna be on Fox Soccer, it looks like. Fox and Fox.
I
Um,
mean, it
yeah.
makes sense. It's sort of like when they show the first stages of the tour and then
Yeah.
you have to sign up to watch the rest of it.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
kind of thing. Like, oh, you like this? Well, maybe you want to watch next season.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, um,
One interesting thing I was looking up because they talk about Jordi Alba and Busquets retiring. I don't know why I'm saying Jordi Alba's both of Jordi Alba's names and only Busquets' last name. But anyway,
because you
um,
can't stand Jordi Alba
yeah,
and you
Jordi Alba. It's
just
just
like
like
to,
Jordi Alba.
yeah.
Alba. So Alba is 36, Busquets is 37,
Hmm.
which is interesting because Messi is 38. So, but he's still playing. But yeah, I didn't realize these guys are getting old. But and Mueller's only 36, so he's a spring chicken with
Really?
these guys. Yeah. I realize Bedoya is also the same age as Messi.
Yes, he is.
They're both
Yes, he
38.
is. Yeah.
I think he
And
might be a
also, the gentleman who was such a threat from NYCFC, his name that,
oh
but he actually, I believe, scored the goal against us. So,
yeah, he did.
but he is also 38
Yeah.
and he is quite the powerhouse. So, yeah, no, it's whatever. I won't be
Yeah.
sorry to see the back of them. I just saw today that there's rumors about Inter Miami signing someone else big and shiny. So
I'm sure.
maybe they're just gonna continue to be the big shiny team
Yeah, for the
for
time
the
being,
foreseeable. But yeah,
it can't
eventually the churn will pull them back down.
exactly. Tides
Yeah.
will shift. It can't go on
Hmm.
forever.
No.
But
So, well, so we'll see. We'll
yeah.
see. And, guys, let us know if I'd be interested to hear if you have a completely different view of who you wanted to see in the playoffs and or who and you want to see win, or if you're just sort of over it by now, you can
Yeah.
also send us that. If you're like Vancouver who, um, well, on to next season, that's also
Yeah.
fine. But if you're still following all this mess, we'd like to hear if you have a different take on it, because I'm sure there are lots of ways of looking at this
Oh yeah.
besides ours. So, um,
And
yeah,
I'm quite confident that at least my take on things are, you know, within the Venn diagram of accuracy. I'm barely hanging on to the edge.
I mean, it's funny because as much as we say we're not emotionally invested, we are emotionally invested, clearly, because we still have opinions.
Yeah, yeah. I
If we
mean,
truly didn't care, we'd just say we didn't care. But
yeah, it's it's also just the fatigue of this whole season. It's like, can we just wrap this up now?
yeah, no, I
It's
know this has been
it's
drug out.
it's a busy season now, and yeah, but
Yeah.
well, I guess speaking of not dragging things out,
Right. Let's keep
let's
going.
keep going. So, real quick, World Cup stuff is happening.
Is afoot.
Yeah,
Yes. So we are recording on Thursday night, and I would also like to say Scoop's birthday. Happy birthday, Scoops.
yeah. Happy birthday,
Um,
Scoops.
we are doing episode 44 on 12/4, which is kind of fun.
Episode
Um,
44 or episode 40? I think
I thought it was 44.
I thought it was 40.
Oh, nuts, it's 40.
Yeah, well, still,
Well, okay. Still got a 4 in it.
still got a four in it.
But just misread that. Anyway, but yeah, so as we record tomorrow is the group draw.
Yeah,
So they'll be determining who's in what group, if the US is in the group of death. And just watched a video sent to me by a friend of the pod, Robert. Um, and someone got good old Steve Karnacki from NBC on this one.
Mm.
Election night favorite, Steve Karnacki and
Yeah, right.
his Gap khakis. Um, where it was breaking down the draw. And actually he did it. It was a little like one part hello Americans who have never watched soccer before, and three parts informative, but
Yeah.
so it was very interesting though, because there are of course there are uh the various groups, there are four pots from which they're drawing, and for each of these groups, and they
Hmm.
will draw one team from each group. And the first pot includes the host nations, so US, Mexico, Canada, and then all the other teams are considered or in addition to us, all the hosts, it'll be the teams that are considered to be the top teams in the tournament. The second group will be the second tier of teams in the
Hmm.
tournament. Third group will be the third tier, fourth group, the fourth tier. And there are still six teams to be determined by some mysterious
Oh, really?
Horcrux producing, process. FIFA is going to be doing it some. I don't honestly, I don't know if the tournaments are still in process or if it's I'm not clear on that. It's FIFA. But so I assume what they'll do is just sort of draw a placeholder for Team A, and then whoever makes it in will be Team A, and they get that slot. So anyway, but so what they're doing is pulling basically one team from each of those pots, and it's good for the US in that we'll be playing teams from the second, third, and fourth ranked groups.
Mm-hmm.
We won't be playing any of those in the group phase. We will not be playing any of the teams that are considered to be the best in the
Oh,
world.
interesting.
Now,
All right.
that second group still can be dangerous.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I mean, so it's not like there is no cakewalk here. US, heck, what, a couple of years ago didn't even qualify.
yeah.
What,
I mean, last
two
World
times
Cup.
ago? The last World Cup they were in, that was
Wait,
the
we
one in
were in
Qatar.
last World Cup?
Yeah, we were in last World Cup. That was the one that was played over Christmas time.
I
And
thought we
then,
weren't in
but it
that
was the
one.
previous one that we
Oh,
did not make. Yeah.
oh.
So, yes.
I trust your memory.
So anyway, yeah, so we shall see. It'll be very interesting to see. One other like change, I guess, for this time around is typically the same day they pull those, they announce like the initial schedule
Oh,
of,
right. Yeah.
that these matches will be played in these cities. And they are waiting until Saturday to announce that for FIFA reasons. Basically it's something to do with like the fact that they're dealing with four time zones, and such a wide spread of people having to travel, whereas when it's in Germany, it's a lot easier to get around. So
It's all one
uh,
time zone.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And relatively small in comparison. So uh that's at least the reason that was given. I don't know if there's some extra FIFA juice on that, but yeah, so they'll do some figuring, I suppose, overnight and determine who's playing where, at least for those initial group games.
Yeah.
So, so very exciting. Um, definitely, definitely gonna be monitoring that.
Yeah. And I think it starts at noon on tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
So this will probably be posted after the fact. Maybe we'll see. But yeah,
Yeah.
so noon on Friday
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Sounds like there are some meetings that are going to be half attended.
Yeah. And checks that are
Um,
hopefully clearing
yeah.
or hopefully not clearing.
No, I was talking about people going to work meetings but not really
Oh,
paying
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
attention.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Sort of like having the phone under the table or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's exciting stuff. It gets ever closer.
Yeah.
And yeah, so come June, July, big doings,
We'll have a lot
and
of soccer to talk about.
yeah, a whole lot of soccer. So, and maybe in with a shout with the US team. They seem to be doing relatively well.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to figure out who they are. So let's
Yeah.
hopefully that'll continue. So
Yep.
okay. Well, anything else?
No, I think that's it for now.
All right. If you want to jump in on a conversation, you can find us at our website, amorephillyunion.com. Keep sending us your thoughts and questions. You can do it via email or on our socials. Instagram's always a good one. We'll be sure to include them as we can. You can email us at pod@amorephillyunion.com. On Instagram, YouTube, Threads, and Bluesky, we are a More Philly Union. Maybe I'll think of some holiday music on there, but we have our very fun, eclectic playlist on Spotify, which I like to call the official soundtrack to a More Philly Union. You can find that under a More Philly Union. If you want to get a More Philly Union swag, you can check out our online store. You can go to our website or check out the link via our link tree and find it there. Download and subscribe to our podcast wherever you get yours. And while you're at it, go show some love to one of our favorite forces for good in the world, the Philadelphia Union Foundation. You can check them out at philadelphiaunionfoundation.org. So thanks everyone for tuning in to another episode of A More Philly Union. We are your hosts. I'm E.
And I'm C.
And if Paul was here, he would say, Go Union! I want to rock. I want to roll.
I wanna rock. Oh, Eric Matthew.
What's that?
Wait, I see you were going off of pronunciation.
What do you mean?
Radicek.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know how it was spelled, so I just
It's Radijak, which is actually that was
from
a
shop around the corner.
no.
Hold
No,
on, hold
that's
on, hold on. Radicek.
Ra
Yeah, it's Radicek's. Isn't that the name of the
what
store?
no,
Mr.
it's
Radicek?
Matichek.
Oh, Matichek. Mr. Matichek.
Mr. Matichek.
Okay,
No,
I was close.
it's actually it's more like Radijak. That's how it's spelled.
Radicek.
And that was my grandma's maiden name.
That's okay. All right.
Yeah.
Matichek, though, is
So it's not outside the realm that I am related.
to shop around the corner.
No, to this gentleman
Oh.
at the Union or to mythical characters in Shop Around the Corner.
I think there's a store
Should we just talk about Shop Around the
in
Corner
Prague. Yeah, let's do it.
for this whole episode? The episode where we decided that instead of talking about Messi, we'd rather talk about one of our favorite Christmas movies, and that is Shop Around the Corner.
Get the most downloads ever.
Right.
Okay.